Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being, having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on Earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multidimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Empower Me Show. My name is Pam Bright. I'm your hostess for this program. I'm so glad that you have tuned in once again to this hour of power, like I like to call it, because Spirit is in charge of this hour, and I'm simply the conduit for that to happen. And we also have wonderful special guests on the show like Colby Wilk, who is joining me today. Yay! And Colby and I met many, many years ago when I was lots of things happening. I think it was in almost the 2000s, a little bit before that, when I met him, and he's been going strong ever since, and so have I. Just really opening to what Spirit has in store for us as spiritual beings having this human experience on this planet Earth. So welcome, Colby, to the show. I'm so glad you're here. And we are going to get started momentarily, but first I like to do what I call grounding so that we can bring all of us into this moment in time and really reclaim all of ourselves back into this physical form. So we're going to do that through some grounding exercises that I do. And we bring in the light language to ground that in. And the light language comes through me, so we call it bright language, a little term that we like to use here at Transformation Talk Radio. So that's what we're going to do. Are you ready? Let's go. So focus in, please, on your breathing. Your breath is the sacred conduit for embodying all of who you are as a spiritual being having this human experience. And I ask you to focus in on your solar plexus, which is right where your belly is, and your heart space, that heart chakra. Let's align those chakras. Those two spaces there are the connectors for your inner core. So as you breathe in, just invite in all of yourself, all of those multidimensional aspects of you. Call them back into your inner space. Call in your guides, your teachers, your angels, your totems, your animals, the tree people and the rock people, the waters, the galactics, anyone that you feel called to bring in. Bring those beings in now. And we ask the Earth Mother also to ground us into who we are. And we ask her essence to come in through our feet and up into our legs, into our core, into our hands and our feet, our heart space, our heads and our necks, up into the one that we call Creator, Universe, Master Guide. Ela tasera maita bayeku, ela bataite huche, lazarabanda yezadi. Ela, aya popo yesanama. Uye, dumboya yeso nama, yekida baba, inda baya iya. Te sanadi atabayeko papana te shi tabada ne yesabaye ye. Kuna sadahi shedabahi sadamaya kuba. Kedu sanamakia tasanamaya kukumaya saniyata ye. Kusena mama ikia ina sanamaye keya baba. Thank you, Earth Mother, for grounding us, bringing us all the way into our feet. You might even want to move your feet a little bit, feeling them on this, either the ground, the earth, or the floor of your home, somewhere where you feel like you are here now. E shushu na mayasa dabane ki na makarai ite masanda ki I ute anatete asana makayata titite. See. All right, and with a nice big breath, feel your body in your seat or the ground or your bed or your chair, wherever you are, and come back to this moment in time. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. So Colby, you have joined me today. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so grateful that you said yes and that you are ready for questions and comments and really opening to interaction with these beautiful people that have tuned into this program. And if you guys are like, oh yeah, I know I already want to talk to these guys, then the number's on your screen. So you can call in anytime this hour of power and talk to us, ask questions, get some guidance. The number is 1-800-930-2819, or you can chat in the chat line that is on your screen as well at transformationtalkradio.com. And it will guide you through chatting in there. So, Colby, why don't you tell everyone who's listening a little bit about you and a little bit about how you got started on this path of intuitive healer and embodying spirit into the physical form. Why don't you tell us about you?
Let's see. I help people find their own path. And so a lot of others will tell you the path they walked, but I'm all for using my intuitive gift to help. And let's see, I am a natural empath, like a lot of your folks. Usually comes from being in a dysfunctional home and having to assess if it's safe to go downstairs. So people learn to be empathic that way generally. And then from there, I sat at the feet of many gurus and shaman and healers and developed my gifts further, or developed the gift. And here I am.
Here
So
you
people
are.
come to me to usually after accomplishing quite a lot, and then their life falls apart, or they no longer are satisfied with what they created because either it's empty or because it's no longer what they want. And now they're questioning who they are. Like, is this it? Or they're trying to get back to where they were. Usually I work with people whose egos are just starting to fall apart, which is a prime place for people's souls to come forward. Because your soul is housed within your ego. So in order to get to the soul, you need to crack the ego. And usually that comes from the loss of identity, the loss of who you thought you were. And so now I teach and see clients by phone or Zoom who don't necessarily, they don't want to become God. They want to know themselves as their divine. They want to wake up as a divine version of themselves. They want to stop giving away their power to a God outside themselves. So that's what I do.
Interesting. Okay, great. Super. So I love that. I love that because I'm I have come to know that we are spiritual beings first, having this physical experience. And so as we go through our lives, many of you who are tuning in now have heard me say this to you, that when we connect to our spiritual selves first, then we realize, oh, the way that I am in my physical body out in the world can alter depending on my spiritual essence and my spiritual way of being. And the challenge, as I have always found, is remembering that it's not the other way around, that I'm just been dropped here. Like, what do I do now? I'm in this physical body. What am I supposed to do with it? Right? I have to have a spiritual connection. I have to in my life. And if I don't, I'm lost. And I know that many of you that are tuning in have kind of dabbled a little bit with that, but may not exactly know where to go next. And so you're the people that I'd love to hear from about, well, exactly where are you and how can we assist you in tweaking that experience a little bit so that you can really flourish with who you are and where you want to go in the world. So,
So,
yeah, go ahead, Colby. You have a question or a comment?
yeah, I was just thinking, like, people are not looking for God. I don't believe that there are multiple selves. People are looking for themselves. That's what they're looking for. And when you find yourself, that's what we call awakening or enlightenment. I don't believe that there's a physical being and a spiritual being. There's just one. There's just one. And it's about allowing yourself to know you. That's it. That's it. It's about descending into yourself so you could hear your soul, your inner self, your inner being, whatever you want to call that, so you can be who you are. Because at the end of the day, that's why we're here, is to become ourselves. Not to find peace, not to find love, not to find prosperity, not to be happy. We're here to become us. Now, that process is not a happy one necessarily, but it's deeply satisfying. Deeply satisfying. And a lot of spiritual types have used spirituality to acquire happiness, stuff, fame, homes. That's not what it's for. That's what hypnosis is for. That's what NLP is for, which is fine. That's great. But it's not true spirituality. True spirituality is where we let go of our identity. Because where we have identity, we have projections and we have attachment. What I mean by identity is anything that follows it, I am X. When you're doing the spiritual work, you are letting go of that. So you know you are the I am. You're beyond identity. So it's a relinquishment. It's not a gathering, and it's not terribly hard either. It's just allowing you to be who you are. Now, who I am might seem like I like chocolate chip cookies or pizza or whatever. That's not really what I want. There's levels of wanting, right? So the personality or my addiction might want cookies, but what I really want, that's my soul talking. And can I allow that to come through? And can I allow myself to have that which I desire? That's the work.
Interesting. Okay, good. So how would you say, I know that you use a lot of different methodologies or have in the past, and now I think it seems like there's been a shift in that, and maybe I'm correct about that, maybe I'm not, but we'd love to hear.
It's all about what the gift is for. So I just got off the phone with a client who, what was he saying? He was talking about how he sabotages himself. He gets an instinct to invest, and then he invests, and the stock goes down, and he listens to that, and he gives up the stock. And he's like, And then the stock rises. He's like, Colby, can you help me with my issues with money? I'm like, I don't want to. No, I don't want to. But what I do want to help you do is know greater stillness. Because what's operating you right now is your mind. You get an intuitive hit, and then you get scared by circumstance, and you start listening to this. So the key is just get into stillness so that you have more intuition. So you could follow your guidance. But the goal is not to make money. The goal is to be in stillness. And a lot of spiritual types make the goal about money, make the goal about securing a partner, make the goal about ego gratification. That's not what it's for. It's for to bring ourselves into a God aspect. So think about God, whatever you want to call that. God is compassionate. God is glorious. God is limitless. God is considerate, I would assume. God is loving. Those are the things we're going for. Anything else that uses the gift for anything else is a misuse. It's a misuse. So yes, I've changed I used to do a lot of healing on like medical conditions. And it was successful. And then eventually it got to the point where somebody would come for a medical situation, it would resolve. They come back next week for an emotional situation. Next week, and they keep coming back. And I started recognizing, look, I'm not changing somebody at their core. I'm just band-aiding the circumstance.
Mm.
And people are willing to pay me, but I'm like, this is just not satisfying to me. How do you shift somebody at the core? How do you change their outlook? In fact, in my perception, all we are is a point of view. That's all Colby is. That's all Pam is a point of view. And do you like that point of view? Do you want to change that point of view? That's what the work is for.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So I know that when I first met you, you were doing what is termed theta healing. Is that what you are still doing?
No.
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 Okay. So then, so your process now is simply having, would you say it's more having a conversation with the soul?
Well, so someone comes, I should say, I'm trained as a theta healer as well as other types of healing methods. I'm sure I use all of it, certainly. It's just where my interests have gone. So somebody will come with a desire for something, generally. I listen to them and try to tune into what their soul is wanting. I tell them what I hear and what I sense. They say yay or nay. Generally, they say, yeah, that really resonates. And I say, how's that going? Developing this, what your soul wants. And usually there's a lot of challenges. And then we talk about those challenges and what the truth is under those challenges that they're resisting. How are they resisting the call of their soul, the call of the life that has been calling them for so long? And then we look at that, how they are keeping themselves separate from that which they are and staying small. There's that old, is it Marianne Williamson quote, we're not scared of our shadow, we're scared of how bright we are, or light, or that. It's very true. We're all terrified of being fully luminescent, fully awakened. And what I find more and more, the texture of enlightenment has changed for me. Because when I got into this many, many, many years ago, I thought enlightenment was like joy and being super psychic, maybe moving objects with your mind and like being able to Shakti pot somebody and give energy, downloads, accelerations, being able to talk to dead people, aliens, the paranormal. And I went through all that and I got quite paranormal. And what I realized more and more is that the signs of enlightenment have to do with stillness, calm, and love. All the rest is just distraction. That's it. That's it. It's all about being here and now, and to stop reaching for some altered state that'll make you finally feel worthy.
Interesting. Okay.
There's so many folks going for enlightenment, trying to heal childhood wounds, as if it's the cure-all for depression and anxiety and the rest.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's
Yeah.
not. It's a distraction.
Yeah.
And all this craziness with aliens and downloads and this person and this group and the fairy, and does that help you be more here and now? And I would say for the most part, it doesn't.
Mm.
Just makes you feel less a part of the human race.
Mm.
So many people that don't want to be here, that don't want to be human, because they've been doing all this fakakta, crazy healing stuff. Well, and that's what drew them. But just because something says it's healing doesn't mean it's healing.
Mm.
Does it heal you into greater peace? Does it heal you into greater quiet? Does it heal you into greater love? Or does it make you feel special? Does it make you feel like you're in the wrong body? You should have been a fairy, or you should go back to the angelic realm. What's it doing?
Interesting. I love that. I resonate with that. So would you say that, because I've thought about this as I have evolved and I have shifted my expression of who I am in the world is that the face of healing is changing dramatically now. The more that we embody who our soul wants to be in this lifetime. Like, soul is eternal. I believe that. I believe that soul is God or creator or the universe. And as a healer myself for years and years and years, what I realized as I was shifting is that there was another word. I was trying, like, I never did quite get to that word of, what is it that I do? What is it that I express? Who is it that I get to be? Am I a channel? Am I a conduit? Do I just express the divine? What is it that I do? Right. So the whole world of that, it feels like there's other terminology that wants to be expressed now, that people are kind of trying to, what I'm hearing is people are trying to find that. Would you say that's resonates for you?
I keep to myself for the most part, right? Like, I have my practice. I live in my house. I don't, I go on an occasional show like this. I think anyone, so I'm kind of counter, I guess, from what you're telling me. Anyone who says they're channeling the divine, I would run from. I would run, because all somebody can do is bring forward that which they are, the drop in the ocean that they are. And that drop is God. Most healer types are moving people towards the path that they've taken that's worked for them.
Mm.
A true healer, psychic person can sense into how to be with that person so that person can take the step towards where they go. It's not for us to determine where they go or even anticipate it. We just get really good at being full of ourselves. You would call it multidimensionalness. I sit within myself and then see the other in their fullness. And that brings about change.
Mm.
So I am not interested in people trying to know God. One, because God cannot be known. God can be sensed. But in truth, we are not looking for God. We are looking for us. What is this? What is the apex of human evolution? What is that? That's what people are interested in. They may not know it. Because most people are like wanting to know what God is, because they want to know what's marionetting them.
Mm.
Because it's still with the same, I am outside of my locus of control. You're not. And in my opinion, our soul is not in charge of us. We're in charge of our soul. Our soul takes forth our desire. I desire something, my soul makes it happen on many, many different levels. And then I come along for the ride, or I don't. And I get my resistance. But my soul is not laying out a path for me to follow like I'm some sort of child and it's my teacher. I have a desire, a heartfelt desire, and my soul makes it happen. Then I either go along for the ride or I don't. For instance, I wanted to be independently employed prior, whatever it was 30 years ago, and I couldn't figure out how to make that happen. My soul took the order and started putting people in my path and opportunities in my path because I said I wanted it. And now, okay, am I going to quit my job? That's for me to choose. Do I follow the path that my soul has put in place based on my desire to move in a direction or not? But it is not, I came to do something that I don't remember, that my soul is keeping hidden from me. I've got to find my way through the dark. That's not how it is. Just it makes people feel disempowered.
Mm.
And it contributes to kind of a Judeo-Christian idea of God being outside the self.
So it's a partnership.
It's a partnership of one. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. When you have enlightenment, you don't wake up to the spark of the divine in you. You don't wake to God. You wake to you as God. This is it. This is it. It's about allowing ourselves to become who we are, who we really are. And for me, that's psychic healer weirdo, gay, right? Whatever that is. I allow myself to be that. And the more I allow, and the more that I become.
It reminds me of the what was I told? The statue of David was, somebody talked about, it was
it's
so
a famous
eloquent
one.
how they didn't actually, they weren't looking for David. David actually was always there.
Yeah.
And what they did is they just chipped away the things that weren't David. And that's what I'm hearing is, oh, we just get to chip away the things that are not us.
Well, the problem there is chipping away. This is the same problem I have with people who say to me, Colby, can you clear me of X? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Because when people say that, they are not accepting themselves as they are. They're making something wrong about what happened, some trauma, murder, rape, betrayal, whatever, God forbid, right? And you may, oh, can you clear that? Okay. There's no such thing. You're just going to move energy somewhere else, usually into the healer, by the way. That's why a lot of healers don't make it more than 10 years in the business. You know that because you've seen people burst into flames, become sickly. So when you clear, the energy's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You're a healer and you don't exactly know what you're doing and who does. Congratulations, you just took on your client stuff.
Yep.
No clearing. There's only being with. That's it. Okay, you got raped, you got betrayed, your husband left you, your child died, your dog died. My dog just died. Okay, let's be with that. Let's be with that. God, I mean, look at nature. Nature doesn't clear away things. Nature uses poop to fertilize.
Yep.
We digest it. Don't clear it. The whole idea of clearing gives the impression that there's clean and not clean. There's good and there's bad. There's angels and there's demons. Also implies there's a good Colby and a bad Colby. There's good behavior, bad behavior. There isn't.
Mm.
Can we just accept ourselves as we are? And stop hiding? Stop judging ourselves? And beating the shit out of ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So those of you who are listening, what are you hearing in our conversation? This is a conversation, right? We're not trying to get anywhere. We're not trying to do anything. We're just having a conversation, which is something that I've always loved about who Colby is that he just is with us. You were with me when I first met you. You were just with me. You weren't trying to prove anything. You weren't trying to get me anywhere. You were just with me. And so if you like this kind of interchange, folks, now's the time to connect. And again, not trying to get you to do anything, but if your heart, if you're being pulled to have this conversation with us, then join us. This is the time to do that. I know many of you are busy, right? But there's some of you, there's at least one of you who's like, God, I'd really like to connect. Somebody out there is wanting that. I know, I can feel that. So go ahead, take a risk. Call us up, have a talk, be surprised. Let's surprise yourself with who you get to be in this moment.
My dog just died.
Mm.
I remember I always have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And my dog Glenda, who probably you knew,
Yeah.
died, I don't know how many years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And then I just had another dog, Emmett, and I had him for 8.5 years, and lovely being. He just died. I had to put him down, actually.
Oh.
Surprisingly, great animal. And so even though I know what I know, and I've talked to dead people, and I visited the other side, and blah, 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 we're still angry, still grieving. I'm still a person with a body.
Yeah.
Make that wrong. Like Colby, be grateful for the time you had with him. Treasure the moments. Don't be sad. It's like, Jesus, can you give me room to be a person?
Mm-hmm.
It's time for us to embrace our humanity.
Absolutely.
Time when we indulge in it. Like if it's, months later and I'm still in, then I'm indulging in my ego, my victimization. I think so many people are trying to occur as more spiritual than they are.
Mm.
And then they shoot themselves in the foot about being truly aware. To be spiritual, to go for what now has become the brass ring, enlightenment. Because a lot of people will say, I want to be enlightened to me, right? Colby, help me become enlightened. I hear that a lot. And I generally ask, what does that mean? And most people can't tell me. They just know it has something to do with being free of problems, free of depression and anxiety.
Oh,
And
Lord.
if you have financial problems, you don't mind living on a curb. It's not what it is. Enlightenment is the state of being fully alive.
Mm.
That's what it is. Who doesn't want to be fully alive? That doesn't mean you have the energy that you had when you were 16. But it means a state of awareness. That's it. I think that spirituality has become, for spiritual hobbyists seeking spiritual materialism, how do I get more prosperity, more joy through these methods? That's what it's become. It's not what it is. It's become commercialized.
Mm.
What it is. And some people, I get it. I mean, I was there. I remember like being X years old, 25, and I want a boyfriend, or I want a house by the water. What kind of limiting beliefs do I need to clear in order to secure wealth and prosperity? It doesn't work. You and I know that. We're old enough. We've been in the business long enough. We know it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. your emotions and your thoughts do have an effect on what you manifest. Sure, but there's other things as well.
Yeah.
Karma, karmic tides. I don't know. The universe is a crazy place. Things don't make sense.
What I've heard about the earth is that this is the playground where every single experience and every single feeling gets to happen all the time with everyone. So think about that, folks. There's what, probably 10 billion trillion people by now on the planet, and every single person is having their own experience, right? So all of that's happening at the same time. And you wonder why you're a little screwy? Of course, right? We're trying to figure it out. But what if, as Colby's talking about, what if we just get to experience what we experience and not judge it, love ourselves through it, and share with other people about it so then we can all love it, right? When I allow myself to be human and spirit at the same time, then to me, that's what being fully alive is. And of course, what I get to experience as well is, God, you know what? Right now, being human really sucks. I don't like what I'm feeling in my body. I don't like what I'm experiencing with my health. I don't like being estranged from my child. I don't like, whatever it is that I say, which a lot of that stuff's happening. It's all happening because it's happening, right? If I don't judge it, then I just get to experience it. So I want to know what you're experiencing, right? Some of you connect, some of you engage with me, some of you engage with the different special guests that I have on the show, but this is for you. So let's have a conversation about it, right? Let's open up Pandora's box of secrecy and allow ourselves to engage with each other. This is a community. This is a human collective community called Planet Earth, humanity. So let's open up. Let's share. Let's see what happens from here on. Okay. So we still have a good 25 minutes or so to go. So Colby, I always ask my special guests, what is it that you think is the most important thing for the audience, the people that are engaging with us to know right now? Or what's the thing that you think is most prevalent and on your heart to share with us?
Hmm. I had another client yesterday, and she had experienced a lot of betrayal and abandonment, full of resentment. And she wanted to know, Colby, why do these things keep on happening? And I want to know why they're happening so I can learn from them so I can move on. And I said, that's great. Why do you think there's a lesson for everything that's happened to you? Well, isn't that the way it works? I don't know who told you that, but no, not necessarily. Things happen, but not because they're a lesson, as if this is some sort of school. Things happen and you have an opportunity to learn from them or not, however you want to learn from them. But again, this is the idea that something is happening to human beings and that we're in some sort of petri dish. Consider things happen and we can learn from them or not. And if we learn from them, that gives us a sense of control. That's it. We could choose different next time or not. Or maybe things happen for a reason, but that's outside of my bandwidth. And I can have faith that things happen for a reason. Let go. It's about being here and now, and looking for a reason why something happened can help you gain awareness, but more than likely, it's keeping you spinning in your mind. And the one place that spirituality does not exist is in your mind. You cannot know God. You can only sense God. And the sensing comes from here. Get out of your head. Bring your attention down and in.
Mm.
Peace, calm, love. That's how you know you're moving up the chain of enlightenment, or down, because spirituality is really a descension down. I sat at the feet of so many people, took on so much energy that it toppled me. Like, it became too much. I became way too psychic. Oh, it was overwhelming. And it was out of a need to grasp, because I wasn't enough as I am. I needed to be more than I was. And I find so many spiritual people doing the same thing. They've had unhappy childhoods. They don't feel good about themselves. So they're going to be better. They become self-development junkies. What's absent from self-development is self-acceptance. Accept whatever's happening is happening. It's happening. Great. Okay. I can choose how to participate or not.
Mm.
The problem with unfortunate circumstances that you were talking about before, Pam, about being separated from your childhood, your child, or whatever case may be, is things happen, and then we have an opinion about what just happened.
Yep.
And it's our opinion about what happened that's wearing the crap out of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My dog died. Sad that my dog died. My neighbors didn't say anything. They see him every day. Well, one neighbor did. And I'm like, them. My dog died. They're not saying anything. Okay. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I could make them wrong.
Right.
Totally enjoy the righteousness of that. God knows I love being righteous. God knows I do. Okay, that's just what happened.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people who want a pill, a magic pill, to transform. And
Mm-hmm.
in New Age spiritual community, the thing was, hey, let's do some work, which sounds horrible as itself, or this person hasn't worked on themselves. Jesus Christ, why would I want to do that? So a lot of spiritual types want to dig at trauma and trauma and trauma and trauma. But the truth is, we are millions of years old. Lifetimes after lifetimes. Talk about parallel existences. Keep going.
Yeah.
Traumas you're going to clear. You're going to keep clearing trauma. Good luck. And you're going to keep on paying your practitioner. Good for you. You're going to keep buying your tapes. Good for you. And or you can learn to manage yourself. You could learn to perceive differently. That's what we call self-mastery.
Mm.
The result of self-mastery is well-being. The result of keep on going to well-being is enlightenment.
Mm.
So start mastering yourself. Start thinking what you want to think. Start perceiving what you want to perceive.
That's awesome. So in the last few minutes that we have, is there, this show is about bringing tools, tips, and techniques for people to use on this journey that they're in called spiritual journey, human journey. Is there an exercise, meditation, something that you would like to share with us that can bring us home
Bring
to
us home.
the program?
So there is a free gift I sent you, the
Yes.
neutral ceremony. So I'm assuming you'll send that out. And that is a ceremony to help people who feel like they want to start again.
Mm.
It's very powerful. It's not for everyone, but it's for people who really want to level their life Say, okay, this tree, done. New tree. So
Great.
when you send that out, but there is the practice I always start clients with is to bring their attention into their body.
Great.
The reason I do that is because energy follows attention.
Mhm.
If your attention's in your body, energy will come to your body, which is where you want it. All your information is in your body, all your karma, all your wisdom, all your insight. How else would God make it?
Mm.
Where else would your information be? Where else would your karma be? In your body. If you're not in your body, you're missing it. You
Yeah.
can't get anywhere without being in your body. People who are in their body tend to be more present.
Yep.
When
Yep.
when people aren't in their body, they tend to get vigilant, anxious, and they get paranoid. Okay, that's okay. We all go there. So bring your attention 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you, towards your back, and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Tongue resting on the bottom of your mouth will help you ground a little bit more. Let your shoulders go, keeping your attention 3 fingers below your belly button and in the middle of you. Just breathing and relaxing. And you're going to notice that your energy starts to sink towards your middle, your dantian, your hara, what I refer to as your still point. And you could say still point, and you will go there because the beings that I work with know where this is. They probably showed me. And this brings you into an embodied, calm, simple state. So if you're in front of your mother-in-law, getting coffee at Starbucks, in front of the barista who annoys you, or going, facing off with the cop who just pulled you over, this is something you can do to bring yourself back to you. Being you is the name of the game. And the first step is being inside of yourself. There you go, nice. Enlightenment, well-being is only a few moments of attention away. Manage your attention, you get greater well-being, you develop mastery over yourself, and you stop being at the effect of your ego. You become who you are, whoever that might be. You are becoming undomesticated, wild, who you really are. Your true nature becomes you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's awesome. So, so yes, folks, you will have a free gift. And it is in the show advertisement. If you look on the website of Transformation Talk Radio, you can see it where we've talked about myself and about Colby. You can also go to Colby's website, which is colbywilk.com, right?
COLBYWILK.
All right. And he's got lots and lots of good stuff on there. And Colby has a lot on YouTube. And so yeah, you do. You've got a lot of great stuff on there. And that's a place where you can see Colby in action with the work that he's doing now. Tell us about how you're doing sessions. Are you doing them all virtually now?
Yeah, all Zoom, all phone. I don't, I get to wear pajamas all day. I don't have to clean the office anymore. This is the office I'm in.
That's
right?
great.
I don't have to clean it's awesome. And the work is as powerful remote as it is in person.
That's awesome. Okay, great.
So it's I thought a before COVID, I was doing still in person, and after COVID, I'm like, I don't think I'll go back.
Yeah.
I do the occasional in-person class, but for the most part, everything is remote.
That's great. So when I met you, I did some other ones about connecting to the heart outside of your home, but when you had your home office, we did like a healer's healer workshop, which was
Right.
incredibly powerful for me. It actually opened me up a lot to who I'm working with now. Are you still doing anything around that, or assisting people with opening to their fullness?
I would do it with a select group, but they would need to come to me and make an appeal, because what I think people have to be ready to open to their gifts. And I wouldn't do what I did before. I would need to lay some groundwork
Yep.
before I would do that again.
Yeah, I got it.
Their well-being and for my well-being. But we think that opening up is a great thing, but unless you have enough ground under you, it can be a very bad thing.
Mm,
And I've toppled over a few times, and it's not a comfortable experience. So I think the question I would ask now is to want to be healers. Why do you want to be a healer? And to really check out their motivation. Because a lot of people want to be healers because they want to be impressive, because they want to know they're worthy. Well, why? Why do you want this? I want to make sure that the motivation is what I perceive is the aligned motivation is there.
yeah. Yeah, I got it. Well, and the other thing I'm getting really strongly, and I feel really strongly in it myself, is that, folks, it is imperative that you honor your body. It's imperative. This is it. Like, this is what you got, right? If you aren't honoring your body, it's going to suffer. Okay. I'm now dealing with, I'll tell you, be very transparent with you. I am now dealing with the years and years and years and years and years that I spent not taking care of myself. Okay. Those of you who are following this program can hear me. And those of you who have not met me before, hear me now. This is the time to be impeccable with your self-care. Say, so I'm upping my level of self-care because I want to inhabit all of who I am. That includes my spiritual essence. That includes my guides, teachers, and angels. That includes every bit of who I've been and who I am now. And what no longer serves me in this lifetime, I get to release. Okay, you can do the same thing, but it's really important that you, as a soul, as a person who is inhabiting this body that you are in, take really super good care of yourself. Because if you aren't doing it, then when's that going to happen? So we've got just a couple minutes left. You want to bring us home, Colby, whatever that looks like in the last couple minutes that we have?
Bring people home. If you're listening to this type of show, something is missing. That's why you're listening. You're listening for answers. Okay, something missing. Now, are you looking in the right place? I know so many folks who come to me, they want a husband. I'm like, you don't want love, you want validation. That's why it's not showing up. Your soul will only allow you to have that which you desire, which is in alignment with that which you desire. If you want wealth because you want to make up for what your daddy did to you or show people who you are, you ain't getting it if you're on a spiritual path. Because if you're on a spiritual path, look, you put yourself at risk. This is not the easy way to go. It is not. More pressure is on you than people who are not on a spiritual path. That's just true. if you ever go to an REI store, mountaineering store, versus a New Age bookshop, you're going to notice a difference between people. At the bookstop, you're going to see wizened people, out of shape, tired. At the REI, you're going to see mountaineering, muscles, vigor, happiness. Why is that? Because at the mountaineering shop, people are doing what they want to do.
Mm.
At the New Age bookshop, people are trying to heal themselves. So let's take a cue from the people at REI. Go and do what you want to do. Give yourself permission to have what you want, even if it's expensive. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated.
That's great.
Okay?
Awesome.
Go rent that Airbnb. Go get that new outfit. Go do something. Stop trying to heal yourself. And there's a place for it. And this show is great. But there's also a place to go and give yourself that which you have. The difference between what makes people happy, what doesn't make unhappy people, is people who are happy give themselves permission to be happy.
Mm.
What is it that you've been wanting for a long time that you can't give yourself permission to have? Go get it.
That's great. Perfect. Thank you so much, Colby, for coming to this beautiful hour of power. And we will be in touch again. And those of you who are listening, please, please be good to yourselves, because you are it. You're the one who's chosen this ride with us. So take it on with zest. Take on your life as your inspiration and your gift to yourself. So go ahead and have a great week, and we'll tune in next week, same time, same place. Colby, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.